to deck building seminar number 2. Number 1 is already up on YouTube. So you can always go back later if you want to watch it. The only way you can ask questions live will be being here on Twitch. But later we put up all the lists so you can see everything a little bit easier. So we did our first one yesterday, and we're going to do our second one today. I'm going to try to run through the opening process a little bit quicker here. And we have it technically a little bit better. So hopefully you guys are going to be able to see a bit better than you did yesterday. Okay. We're going to do this fun style too. We're going to do the what's the foil, what's the rare. Just because it's fun to do it that way. Eldrazi spawn. Foil. Wait. It's the other way. Narcolepsy is the foil. Karn is our mythic. Wow. So we didn't get a mythic yesterday. Blinding Soul Eater, Arrest, Thoughtcast, Waxbane Baksu, Vampire Lacerator, Aether Snipe, Rapid Flames, Simic Initiate, Goblin Fireslinger, Kite Sail, Water Servant, Mutagenic Growth, and Dismember. Hey, that's not bad. Dismember and Mutagenic Growth. Yeah, that one didn't suck. Creekwood Liege. That would be a foil rare. He's good. I used to think about this from a value perspective as well. It's I'd like to open some money in this process.
Hey, Scott, I know this is a good problem to have, but your shiny Karn is hard to see.
Oh.
Because of right where he's sitting because of the light. I mean, it's no biggie. You can see everything else, but the majesty of Karn. Perfect.
There it
now
goes.
You can see the beauty.
Move him over just a little bit. Okay, Etched Monstrosity is our rare. That guy's interesting. Smoke Braider, Motkid Rioters, Sickle Ripper, Wings of Velis Veil, Mighty Leap, Duskhunter Bat, Smash to Smithereens, Tukatung Thallid, Sign in Blood, Rusted Relic. Is it Boilerworks and an Orzhov Basilica and a Plexcaster Frogling. Gotta love that guy. Let's kind of do this a little different. Yeah, value is always nice. Let's see. Foil Arrest and a Dark Confidant.
Oh my.
Ayo. Heart value. Glinthawk Idol, Burst Lightning, Conclave Phalanx, Duskhunter Bat, Fairy Mechanist, Mighty Leap, Brute Force, Plummet, Fiery Fall, Dread Drone, Spread the Sickness, Remand, Plexcaster Frogling.
Remand even is worth a couple bucks, right?
Oh yeah. Remand's is the top uncommon in the set. Yeah, last night value not so good. Today, a little better. We got there. Oh, we have. Don't care. Water Servant is the foil. Chimeric Mass is the rare. Smoke Braider, Motka Rioters. I got Remand in the wrong place. Telling Time, Waxbane Baksu, Grim Affliction, Helium Squirter, Smash to Smithereens, Commune with Nature, Evolving Wilds, Wayfarer's Bauble, Dispatch, Necrogenesis, and Palaka Worm. I'm really kind of hoping that the last, well, at least one more of the mythics in the box is green. You know, because that's always nice. Foil is a lore scale Codal. Spike Shot Elder. For our rare, Nameless Inversion, Blood Ogre, Kozilek's Predator, Kami of Ancient Law, Bone Splitters, Steady Progress, Brute Force, Simic Initiate, Rune Servitor, Rusted Relic, Cumulox, World Heart Phoenix, and Cranial Plating. Seems to think we may have a little artifact thing going on here.
Last one.
Last pack. And guys, we're going to be doing 4 of these total, because that's how many you can make out of a box. Foil is Thief of Hope. Elish Norn.
Oh boy.
Not bad. I mean, not the mythic I most wanted. But it's fine. It's all good. Fortify Bloodthrone Vampire Rampant Growth. Copper Carapace, I sometimes forget. Vapor Snag, Moonlit Strider, Aqua Strand Spider, Soul Bright Flamekin, Kite Scale Cathodian, Overwhelm, Glass Dusk Hulk, and Simic Growth Chamber. Okay, so obviously, probably the first thing I've noticed here is that we have a reasonable artifact theme. So I'm going to put things up here for now. Kind of like have the separation here of stuff I'm not dealing with, stuff I am dealing with. Well, we know he's getting played. Like, you don't not play him. I do like the fact that there's 3 lands plus the wilds. And even within the artifact theme, the consideration that the Glass Dusk Hulk is also an artifact. Though, so is Fairy Mechanist. And that has affinity for artifacts, and so does Cumulox. So we're already just kind of thinking about how this is going to go. I don't think we got the guy over here. And this may not go this way when it's all said and done, but we're going to kind of look at it. I don't hate Kite Sail or Carapace. I damn sure don't hate Cranial Plating. I don't think Metalcraft's going to be too much of a problem for us here. Wayfarer's Bauble, because as I stated last night, you don't not play Wayfarer's Bauble. Cathodian, still not a big fan of Rune Servitor, but it might very well may get in there. Sure, Chimeric Mask, Glinthawk Idol, Rusted Relic. Etched Monstrosity is, at its very worst, a 5 casting cost 5/5. So Kite Sail, Blinding Soul Eater. I mean, we definitely have a green-white thing going on here. Green-white artifacts? Like, or excuse me, not green, blue-white. Blue-white artifacts. Though, with a little bit of green, could get interesting as well. And we also have a lot of these miscellaneous lands over here, like a green-blue land, which certainly wouldn't suck if we're looking to go that direction. I'm just not a fan of the Rune Servitor. I mean, I guess, I suppose he's fine. In this deck, he's probably just fine. We're going to play blue. You play Vapor Snag. I don't see us not playing Helium Squirter. Remand's fine. I don't love it in limited, but I think it's probably fine for this deck. Telling Time. Ether Snipe. I'm trying to think about proliferation here. There's the mass. There's the mass.
Scott, we're getting a request for green-white affinity.
Green-white affinity?
GW affinity.
Well,
But we'll see.
I mean, we're going to look at it, certainly. I mean, affinity definitely looks like it's going to be a solid theme with this build. Like, no question. There's definitely some very solid white, too. I mean, Elish Norn is silly. Dispatch. I hear that works well with Metalcraft. I'd say Baksu is maybe. Possibly we do have some spirits. There's definitely an arrest. A couple of mighty leaps. Trying to think how many spirits or arcane things we have. I mean, Strider does soul shift into any of these. And Fortify is really good. Like, Fortify is like pretty required. Now, somebody was mentioning green, so let's take a peek there. Well, there's two cards that are probably getting played no matter what. One is Dismember. And the other is Mutagenic Growth. Because why not? I do love me some ramp. Guys mentioning rampant growth. Good, I can stay away from Overwhelm today. Kozilek's Predator. Goodness. That doesn't suck. This could get real questionable as to whether or not we could play it. I think we may not be able to. The Wotleaf Liege was great last night, but I don't know about that here. I mean, Pekla Worm's nice, but I think he's going to, depending on the route we go. Let's just kind of put him up there, because we could ramp into him without too much problem. The Riders, I mean, I'll put this over here as like a possibility. Maybe this Spider, I don't know. We also could consider the idea of just playing like a lot of colors. Because I do like that. Soulbright Flamekin is interesting because if you get 6 mana, you can have Karn out. Or whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe not. Now, if we go the multicolor theme, or the many-color theme, Rolled Heart Phoenix could become very good. Not to mention, the many-color theme would also play very well with the Etched Monstrosity. I mean, for 5 mana, being able to turn it from a 5/5 into a 10/10 and draw 3 cards? That very well may be worth considering. It's hard to not consider Spike Shot Elder, but I have a feeling in the end he's not going to be able to make it just because of the type of deck we're looking at here. I mean, Brute Force is great, but Dislike Smash to Smithereens. Like, I dislike my opponent playing it against me. Our Genesis is shiny there. Smoke Braider, nice if we have enough elementals. Fiery Fall is definitely one of those cards that you would play if you're going the 5-color route. Burst Lightning is pretty required if you're in red. Nothing else here that just really is just jumping out at me as being just the nuts. No. If we were to go into Spirits, I don't think Spirits is going to be good enough considering the other stuff that we have. But maybe. Bone Splinters. Nameless Inversion's also another great card. Grim Affliction's fine. Spread the Sickness it's okay. Dread Drone is ramp. We're not really fast. Man, Dark Confidence worth some money, but he's scary. Yeah, he's a little too scary. Not a combo.
What about Elish Norn and Dark Confidant?
Not a combo. That I believe the term is nombo.
Nombo.
Again, we're not really going to be an aggressive black deck here, it looks like. So the more aggressive cards are going to kind of just disappear. I definitely think that we're in some form of a... we're probably in some form of a 5-color build, to be honest with you. Mostly centered around white-blue. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that it's going to be kind of a white-blue centered 5-color build. Using things like the lands and the Evolving Wilds and the Wayfarer's Bauble, Burst Lightning, Rampant Growth, all that stuff to help try to find what we need for the rest of it. So, if we're looking at going that direction, because we have a few things that could reward us if we can get all 5 on the board at once. We'll have to be real careful with what we play here. Probably stuff like Splinters, and probably Splinters is probably most likely what we would play, if anything, out of here. I think these are just required. These cards are... The Froglings and the Codal are just stupid. Stupid good. We're going to have too many cards. We're just going to have too many cards. I don't necessarily see the leaps making it. Maybe not even the Fortify. I don't know. But I think we're going to ramp up enough that Elish is probably going to be fine. I'm just going to keep that over to the side as a kind of a maybe. I don't see any way in hell the Elder makes it. I mean, there's just not enough. You'd have to get really lucky with like your grafting and stuff like that. These 3 I could see definitely. I mean, the World Heart Phoenix again could just become like just ridiculous. Hey, I have a 4/4. You kill it. Hey, I have a 4/4 flying. I'd say if we have room, maybe Necrogenesis. I don't dislike this card at all. But I don't think we're going to have room. So let's actually set like all the black aside here outside of the dismember. And let's just kind of look, see where we're at here. Because I'm just kind of eyeballing this and going, hey, this is way too much. Actually, we need to go through the green. Bye-bye, leash. Nice knowing you. Bye-bye, Pekka worm. Or Palaka worm.
It's a Pekka worm.
It's a Pekka worm. Well, Motkid Rioter certainly seem nice if you're going to try to have one of each basic land down. Kozilek's Predator for the ramp. And we might even consider the other one, but I think the black one, isn't the black one like 5 casting cost? Yeah, he's a 4/1. I'd rather play the 4 casting cost 3/3 that does the same thing than the 5 casting cost 4/1. Spider is a... I like the Spider. I think he's fine. So let's just do a quick count and then laugh at myself. Because there's like... We're probably over by 10 or more cards here. We'll even leave the Fortify out when we count. Yes, this is a brand new sealed pool. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. This is ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. We have some cuts to make. We have a lot of cuts to make. Quite obviously. We need to kind of figure out maybe what kind of deck we are. I mean, I think we're definitely artifacts. I don't think there's much of a question here that the artifact theme is probably one of the best ones we have. It's just too much good stuff to not play it. Maybe off the Rune Servitor because I just don't like him. Helium Squirter. I'm trying to think of things that give counters, like the Codal, the Frogwings can graft. That thing already has flying. The Spider can graft. Kind of move these over here. As much as I like Helium Squirter, it may not be our guy. Bye-bye Remand. You're a quick cut. It's really hard to not play Cumulux when you have like 12 artifacts. I might be able to get away from Aether Snipe. Card's really good. Maybe. Let's kind of see where we go here with this. Oh, we gotta start getting away from other things. Let's look at creature count here, actually. I almost have to count the relics as creatures. I mean, I feel like I have so many artifacts that these guys should be creatures like most of the time. Yeah, I might end up having to put the Rune Servitor back in just to kind of make sure. Idol's essentially a creature, especially when you have this many artifacts. The bauble. Phoenix is a dude. Trying to not get everything in the shiny space. Dude, not dudes. You know how I said mutagenic growth was pretty much a must play? Yeah, goodbye. Dismember is a must play though. Now you just, even if it costs you 4 life, the ability to neg 5 something for 1. I mean, we have to kind of start looking at, like, okay, this is maybe all gone. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 34. We still have... so I think at this point what's going to happen here is we've really got to take a hard look at what deck do we want to be.
We have a comment that blue-white might be our way to go.
Yeah.
In terms of consistency.
Yeah, and I was very much considering that plan as well, where we basically just get rid of... I still don't think you get rid of Dismember. 7. I mean, you could get rid of just this. Now, the one issue I might have with this is we don't ramp as well with this deck as we do, say, with the green, having... I'm trying to think what we have here that's just weak. Truth is not very much. I mean, Edge Monstrosity, even as just a 5/5, is fine. I like the idea of being able to use his ability. Now, I suppose it's possible if we end up deciding to play like all 3 of these. Like there could be an instance where we could get it off. Let's definitely... Okay, let's definitely pull the red for sure. Let's not go the 5-color route. So if we're not going the 5-color route, then we're not playing the Rioters either. So which would just leave us as this as our green splash. Oh, and the growth. Though I don't... I do like the Kozilek's Predator because it could put us into a turn 5 Karn or Elish Norn, which I think if you cast either of those on turn 5, it's probably a very you can extend the hand.
Scott, we have a question. Are you okay you're not going 5-color?
Hi, Jack. It does happen. It does happen. I mean, Dismember... How often am I willing to pay 4 life and 1 to Dismember? And I think the answer is often. So... Plexcaster Froglings are just, oh my god, they are so stupidly good. But yeah, maybe they're just not worth getting in there for. Lure Scale Codal is obviously very good. Yeah. I mean, the more I look at this, the more I think, yeah, we've got to get rid of the green. I think this is just a blue-white deck. I mean, while this stuff is good, it doesn't play into consistency. It doesn't as much play into the theme. I mean, the Kozilek's Predator is great, but I'm not going to play green for Kozilek's Predator. And if I'm not playing enough green, Rampant Growth's not going to do me enough good. So, I will definitely play the Basilica. If for no other reason, because it might give me, it potentially has a chance to give me some black mana on Dismember. I mean, the truth is I don't actually see a problem with playing any of these, because they all either produce white or blue, which is fine. We'll count them as that. And on the ridiculous chance that we have all of them on the board at once, we could use the Etched Monstrosity. I mean, like, if we were playing ones that weren't blue or white, I could see saying, okay, no, we're not going to play that. I just don't see a problem with running those. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now, it's like Moto. I need to sort by converted mana cost now. Do like that guy for quite a few reasons. X.
Those 3 cards on the right are a little tough to see. Oh, now you can see them perfectly. Are they just lands?
Yeah, they're just lands. I think in this build, though, the Rune Servitor is going to find its way back in. So we're going to make other cuts. I might as well count this as a 1. It's hard to know where to put these. Do we have a sack engine? Like, do we have a way of, like, making our Cathodian go away on demand? Not really. Because that would be nice with either of these two. Remand is a fantastic constructed card. It is not nearly as good in limited as it is in constructed. Especially if you're a deck like this that looks like it may just be tapping out like like all the time. Well, the thing about the kite thingies as well is that they're also artifacts. So they help with Thoughtcast, they help with Cumulux, they help with Glass Dusk Hulk. They're another thing that you can get with Mechanist. Cranial Plating. I don't love the kite sails, though I do think we have enough creatures. Maybe we don't. Maybe we have to play Rune Servitor. Because we just don't have enough dudes. Yeah, so we're sitting here on 12 dudes. Though Elish Norn, I mean, it's a dude, but it's almost hard to count as a dude. Because it doesn't really do...
Hey, Scott, you got a question.
What?
Are you going to play any of the 5/5 for Metalcraft?
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, the Rusted Relics are both right there.
Absolutely. Right, Rusted Relics are in.
Absolutely. I mean, that'll hold them off, that'll hold them off. That'll hold them off. That'll hold them off. That'll hold them off. We have some reasonable ways of holding people off. Go find what we need. Maybe get rid of one of the kite sails, but I really hate to do that. I could see the argument for it, though. What I'm going to do real quick here, though, is I'm going to put everything together in one pile. And I'm just going to thumb it again. Because I want to make sure that there's nothing I've missed. That I'm like, oh, there's a way of me doing this, and I missed it the first time, and now this would go really well. Doubt it, but I've had stranger stuff happen. I had a tournament on MTGO once where I rushed through the deck build too much, and I don't remember what the card was, but it was a really good card, and I didn't realize till round 4 it was in my sideboard. So the proliferation is just not going to do me much good. Water Servant's great, but you know, if we feel like we're too low, yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else here that I just feel like is like required. I don't think we play Evolving Wilds in this deck.
Why no wilds?
The reason you wouldn't want to play Wilds is the truth is for the most part you're not going to want to thin. Like the only basic lands you're going to play are blue and white. And you want to find your way into Karn and Elish. So I think the idea of playing that is no good. Wayfarer's Bauble's different. Doesn't take up a land slot.
Scott, would you characterize this deck as blue-white control?
No, I would not characterize this as control whatsoever.
What would you call it?
This is a bit of an aggro deck, honestly. I mean, our goal is to drop something, get it beefy, and beat you with it. It certainly has control aspects in the late game. I mean, Karn and Elish Norn are definitely great late game cards. But like, we have a lot of really cheap removal. And then, I mean, even if we could put the other Kite Sail back in, and we've got Kite Sail, Kite Scale, Plating, Carapace, all ways of slamming it on what have you, a Servitor, an Idol, Mechanist. Several things here that fly already. I wouldn't call it control, though. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it aggro, though. I mean, it's kind of aggro. It's just not like super racing. Yeah. So is telling time good? Yes. Yeah, 3 mana to be able to. Yeah, telling time's good. I feel like it's kind of like a better anticipate. Because I think being able to keep one of them on top of your library is probably more often than not going to be a good thing. And don't get me wrong, I love Evolving Wilds. And if we were playing a basic land of a third type, the Evolving Wilds would make the deck. No question. But I just don't think so.
So is this your build?
No, it's not. Because I feel like we're probably over by a card. Or 2. Actually, probably or 2. Because we're going to have a hard time. See, this is what worries me about having dropped, say, some of the green. I know what you're saying about the Water Servants. I love Water Servant. I think it's a good card. But here's one thing. Air Servant? Was there an Air Servant here? There wasn't an Air Servant. Yeah, we didn't have an Air Servant. The thing you need to realize about this environment, more than most other environments, synergy is king here. It's just kind of weird because we're coming from Khan's block where power was king. And here, are the Water Servants better cards than the Kite Sails? Absolutely. But they don't work in our plan. The truth is I honestly don't know where I'd play it.
I'll play you, bro.
You'll play me?
Hell
You want to play that deck I built last night?
No.
Because I don't.
I'll play this one, and you can play the bad one you built last night.
No, thank you. That one from last night was bad. Now, having these, though, does help a little bit. More in that we don't necessarily have to find as many lands to get Karn or Elish on the board. The Bauble will help. But we have to cut at least one card here. Like, this is not a question. This is 25. This is too many. Probably, well, maybe the Copper Carapace. Copper Carapace, while it's cheap, has a higher equip cost. Limits your guy, doesn't give it any evasion. I think the Kite Sails are probably in general better, but maybe not. Because we don't have much in the way of 1-drops, but it's not like that's really a 1-drop. Yeah, I think it's the Carapace. I'd rather have something evasion-y. I mean, make the monstrosity fly. I don't need to make it a 7/7. I need to make it fly. And I put the Carapace on any flyer. Mechanist. I say Glinthawk idle, but that's the problem, is that it's kind of difficult to put it on him. Cumulox. Yeah, I think the Carapace is probably the right cut.
So what do you think your deck is vulnerable to?
Well, smash to smithereens. It's not a card I want to see too often. We need to ramp up into Karn and well, we're kind of on two plans. It's either try to wipe him out quickly or get to a late game. What are we specifically susceptible to? I'm not sure. I could see like a really fast like black-red deck possibly being an issue for us. If they're just balls to the wall, I'm just going to run you down. We don't really have a lot of stuff that's just fragile. Because, like, yeah, against like a black-red, like these are almost dead cards. Like you're going to die before you can get them down. I'd almost consider bringing in green in that case.
So is this your build?
No, because I still feel like we're over. We need to get to 17 lands. And while I have no problem playing 41, I don't think 17 and a 41 is correct with this. I think it's 17 and a 40. So, those are artifacts. Those are artifacts. I'd prefer not to pull artifacts if I can help it. I don't want to pull things that draw me cards. These are essentially win conditions. Can't cut dispatch. I think cutting arrests would be a bad idea. So we're kind of with Dismember or Vapor Snag here. Is really what our cut is. I've got to cut Dismember. Ugh. Dislike. But yeah, so this is our deck now. Just take everything that's actually artifacty and put it over here. Or colorless. And it's not often when this is what you have to work with for colors.
Scott, there was a request if you could put out or sort it by your curve.
Yeah, I'm going to. And the comment about, yeah, if I'm worried about being bolted out or rushed out with Dismember, and that's exactly the thought that went into my head in the end, that Vapor Snag is way better against that deck than Dismember is. Okay, so let's put it out by curve again. Well, actually, I need to figure out how many lands. I'm just going to kind of say how many, though. We've got the 3 over here. I mean, really, it's blue, blue, white. 7 islands, 7 plains. There you go. 7 islands, 7 plains. Just go ahead and give it the sort out one more time. And have it all out there for anyone who maybe have missed it. And at this point, I'd like to actually take some questions if anybody has any. I like the idea of doing this. And if you guys are seeing this on YouTube, feel free to be a part of our next one at twitch.tv/thegamersdome if you would like to ask questions live.
When are you going to do your next one?
It'll be tonight. I don't know when. Probably a few hours.
What's the best way for people to know when you're going to do it?
Follow me on Twitter. Well, the two you want to do is follow me here on Twitch, so you get a notification of when I go live, and follow me on Twitter at @thegamersdome. I tend to tweet out 30 to 45 minutes before I'm going to do it. I'd say probably like maybe somewhere around 7 o'clock Pacific tonight. Roughly. I'll tweet out for sure, but probably somewhere around 7 Pacific. So, questions, comments?
How do you like this pool? If you got past this at GP Vegas, what would you think?
I wouldn't hate this. It's better than the one I opened last night. It's very synergistic. I would have liked to have been able to go the 4-color theme. I just don't think it's right. Too much metalcraft, too much stuff with affinity and stuff that was really good to just go this route. I mean, I feel like if this ended up in my hands, I'd be playing on Sunday.
We like to hear that. Wait, as part of the Super Sunday series?
No, not as part of the Super Sad series. As part of day 2. Though, to be honest with you, this is probably a 7-2 deck. It's not an 8-1. It's not a... it's definitely not a 9-0. Would the Dismember be better than Elish? Not game 1. I don't think game 1 at all. If you... Both of these cards are cards that can often just win you the game, like, almost immediately. I mean, even if they kill Elish Norn, everything they have with 2 toughness or less is dead. And then, God, what do you do about Karn? I am way more concerned about the opponent's creatures get -2/-2 than I am my creatures get +2/+2. Like, if we've somehow gotten into a board stall where people are having a hard time getting through, this just busts it wide open. Okay. So for everyone on YouTube, that is going to be the end of this one. I'll stay on Twitch here for a little while and field any more questions. But this has been Scott for the Gamers Dome. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. We put out awesome new content all the time. So the most important thing you can do is click here to subscribe. If you love gaming and just want to see all the newest videos we have out, go ahead and click here. If all you really care about is just this game, click up here to see everything we've done for it. And if there's another specific game you're looking for, we have a few listed here that you can click on. But make sure you check out our homepage because we're adding new videos and new games all the time. This is Scott Garrett for the Gamers Dome. Keep playing, everyone.